Hi guys, my name is Anna, and today I am reviewing the most watched English series on Netflix this past week, and that is Inventing Anna. I'm not just reviewing this because of the name, but I actually remember back in 2018 when this viral article came out about this crazy scammer lady story in New York, and it really is an insane story. It's kind of similar to the Tinder Swindler. So, Inventing Anna follows the real-life story of Anna Delvey, real name Anna Sorokin, and she's actually Russian, but she pretended to be this German heiress looking to inherit like $60 million by the time she turned 30 from her wealthy family. From 2013 to 17, she scammed the New York elite, as well as countless hotels and banks for their money, and even tried to apply for a $40 million loan to start her very exclusive high-end private arts club named the Anna Delvey Foundation. Like, this lady has some balls, okay? Her con style was similar to the Tinder Swindler. In order for people to give you money, you need to look like you have the money, and a lot of it. She would stay in Manhattan's luxury hotels and casually leave the employees $100 tips. She frequented the best bars and restaurants in New York and would often just pay for everybody. She would buy personal training sessions with a celebrity trainer worth $4,500, and she would just shop at high-end stores and just spend the money like she couldn't get rid of it fast enough. But too many times she would ask her friends and acquaintances to cover the bill as her credit cards were not working, or she was saying the transfer was taking days to come through, or she would ask people if she could stay at their place despite her claims of being this millionaire heiress. And there are accounts of her just dining and dashing at fancy restaurants, and she racked up huge bills at these hotels until she got eventually kicked out. One of the most dramatic scenes of her con scheme is when she took 3 of her friends to Marrakesh on this ultra luxurious vacation, saying that she would just pay for everyone. So they shopped, ordered massages, dined in the expensive restaurants, and the final bill ended up being $62,000. And Anna's credit cards weren't working as usual, and her friend Rachel had to put down her work American Express card and ended up paying the $62K bill, which was more than her entire yearly salary. Anna only returned Rachel $5,000 after a month of chasing and put her under immense stress. That trip was the beginning of her downfall, as she can't keep up this con forever. And in 2019, she was convicted of her crimes and sentenced to 4 to 12 years in prison, but she got out in February 2021 for good behavior, so after 3 years. Currently, she is now back in custody for overstaying her visa in the US, and she will most likely be deported. That's the real-life story of the real Anna Sorokin, and this Netflix series is a dramatization of that story with embellishments. The main character in this series actually follows a journalist named Vivian, and she is writing the exposé about this whole scandal. From the first episode, I was like, her face is really familiar, and I realized she is the child actress from My Girl. Do you guys know that film? I watched that movie so many times during my childhood. I remember crying to it, and so I recognized her face, but I have to say she is really not likable in this series. It's the combination of the over-the-top acting and her exaggerated facial expressions, and the character does morally questionable things throughout the whole series as a journalist. The other thing that's annoying about Vivian and all the other characters is that they seem to feel sympathetic for Anna at the end of the series. Vivian is saying things like, this 12-year sentence means that this young lady's life is taken away from her. And I was like, yeah? She's a narcissistic, pathological liar and a criminal. Anna's lawyer has like unwavering loyalty towards her even though she doesn't pay him. And Neff, the concierge and one of her friends, she just likes Anna so much, and it's just so bizarre to the audience that's watching. We don't understand why these people support Anna so much. And the way the show tries to paint Rachel as the bad person for calling the cops on her friend after being left $60K in debt. I don't know why the show tries to make us feel sorry for Anna because she's not a particularly likable character. She's very rude and condescending.
What's you wearing? You look poor.
And all of her actions just seem to stem from feeding her ego. The show tries to paint her in this way, like she's a genius and this smart businesswoman, and she has like this amazing taste in art, wines, and culture. Whereas the real Anna Sorokin admitted that she just did everything on a whim and faked her confidence to con all these people, and somehow everyone fell for it. Even banks, who normally go through rigorous credit and asset checks before they give you a loan, they got swindled by her too, which was just crazy to me. Fake it till you make it was definitely working for her until the point that it didn't. So the actual story itself is super interesting, but the series is not perfect by any means. As the audience, the most interesting parts for us is the parts about Anna, but this 9-part series spends way too long focusing on the other characters and their emotions, which, as the audience, we don't really care all that much about, and it just drags and gets boring. I would have liked to see more of Anna's psyche and her thoughts, because by the end of the series, you're still not really sure what she's thinking or what kind of character she really is. Is she really a genius businesswoman, as the show would like to have you believe? Or was she just a narcissistic, selfish, status-chasing, wannabe socialite? She was very good at acquiring money, she was good at that. But if she really was that smart, she would have used that money to invest in something instead of spending it all like there was no tomorrow. Visually, it's very exciting to look at. All her wardrobe, costume changes, and all her shenanigans throughout New York. It made me miss New York so much. But otherwise, there are like no characters you find yourself rooting for. They're all really unlikable. There's been a lot of talk about Anna's accent in the series. It's meant to be this mixture of German, Russian, but mixed with American kind of accent. And it sounds so bizarre when you first hear it. It sounds like nothing you've ever heard before. But I personally like accents. I like listening to various different accents. So for me, it wasn't much of a problem. But for me, the most annoying character was Vivian, the My Girl actress. She was just utterly insufferable to watch on the screen. And they have this whole storyline going, and she's pregnant, but she's like obsessed with work, and all of her scenes were just unnecessary. We just wanted to see the Anna scamming parts. That's what we came for. I feel like this series would have been better as like a 2-hour movie or a documentary like the Tinder Swindler. That would have been enough. But it's stretched out into 1 hour, 9 episodes. And it's just filled with too much boring stuff about the other characters, which is not interesting. But the story itself is good, so it's a shame. As for my conclusion, my thoughts from watching this was, I need to get myself an American Express card because they ended up forgiving the $62K on Rachel. They just forgave it. How do I get myself one? And honestly, after watching this series and the Tinder Swindler, I'm just wondering if I should just switch careers and be like them, because it seems like it's quite easy to scam people as long as you have the confidence and the balls to go through with it. I'm just kidding, but it's just mind-boggling how easy it is to do, actually. So I guess fake it till you make it. As for my rating, I give this a 6 out of 10 for Inventing Anna. The real Anna Sorokin was paid very well for this Netflix deal, and she has more stuff coming in the works, I think, so she has kind of earned from her crimes. Have you guys watched Inventing Anna? Let me know your thoughts down below. Oh, and a quick plug. Do you see my BTS-inspired Nakd Seoul poster in the back? I'm going to drop the link down in the description where you can go shop that. Also, join us every Friday, 10 a.m. KST for our weekly live podcast on Nakd Seoul. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!